Evening and welcome back, Delmarva. We know from meteorologist Rich Werdzik, as we heard earlier this evening, that the heat wave has already started and the worst is yet to come. But it affects us in more ways than you might think. WMDT's Layla Wea spoke with a local farmer to find out how they'll be dealing with these higher temperatures.
Take a look at this little plant. In a perfect world, it'd take about 6 weeks for this soybean to mature. But as you can see in this field behind me, Mother Nature has other things in mind.
How would you like to work the entire year and you look out there and watch everything you've worked for go up in flames, literally, because it's going to be burnt to a crisp?
Delmarva's agriculture industry is bracing for the summer's first heat wave, and it only gets worse from here. Farmer Virgil Shockley speaks for many farmers when he says he just wasn't expecting it to hit this soon.
You're getting a heat wave June, where you normally get a heat wave in July. Normally this is about 2 weeks early on the heat wave cycle than we normally would have it as of such last year.
But with it making its debut so early in the season, meteorologist Jake Grant says this sets the precedent for the rest of the summer, creating an unfortunate reality for farmers like Shockley.
Expected to be a very hot summer over the next couple months, so that's not good news, as well as the drought conditions continuing to worsen. Typically these are our driest months anyways, and we didn't get a whole lot of rain beforehand, and with that it can cause those bigger issues.
The heat, coupled with little to no rain in the forecast, creates a nightmare for Shockley.
This is a matter of people losing a lot of money.
And he warns if the dry spell continues and the temps continue to rise, so will the cost of doing business.
Everything that we produce, everything that farmers produce here on the shore, corn, beans, goes into the poultry feed. What we don't grow, they have to bring in from somewhere else.
Reporting in Salisbury, Layla Wea, WMDT.
Yeah, meteorologist Jake Grant adds that if you are a farmer who needs to work extended periods in the sun, just make sure you're staying hydrated, laying on that SPF, and taking periodic breaks to avoid heat exhaustion. Well, the Supreme Court has upheld a law barring domestic violence abusers from owning guns. In the 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court rejecting the argument pressed by gun rights groups that the law violated the Second Amendment. Now, this latest decision may help support similar federal gun regulations that have been challenged since the Supreme Court expanded gun rights in 2022. Now, the 2022 ruling led to significant confusion for lower court judges, and while this is a national law, Worcester County Sheriff Matt Crisafulli breaks down how his agency is handling things locally.
In a domestic violence case where someone petitions the court in a domestic violence situation, if they're in fear for their safety from a spouse or a family member, and the judge grants this ERPO, then weapons are temporarily confiscated.
Now, if you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline by calling 1-800-799-7233. Well, an ongoing project proposal for the city of Seaford has finally begun demolition of the Nylon Capital Shopping Center. That started this morning. The project was originally spearheaded by the former mayor, Dave Genshaw. Now, they plan to put the Community Bank of Delaware and other businesses in the revitalized shopping center once it's finished. Seaford Mayor Matt McCoy says they're excited that it's finally happening and that a lot of residents have been asking for it for years.
Right behind us is the old bank here, and now Community Bank of Delaware is going to come in, so we're expediting that process. We're going to move right down the line here to the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is going to stay, but everything to the left of that is going to be excavated, and then we're going to move to the back portion of the parking lot with the major establishments.
Yeah, Mayor McCoy says the construction will continue over the upcoming weeks. He says the residents of Seaford truly deserve this, and he's glad he gets to see the project through. And at this time, we're going to throw things over to our chief meteorologist, Rich Werdzik, who's standing by. Rich, it was a hot one out there today.
You could definitely feel the temperature and humidity were definitely higher today than they have been all week. We were in kind of a holding pattern. Temperatures were just short of 90 each day. Today, we broke past that point, and we threw in some more humidity. But if you were out earlier this evening, you probably noticed how bright the moon is, and it is at its full stage, the full strawberry moon. Charles Fleming, I'd like to say our unofficial full moon observer here in the Salisbury area, snapped a photo on cue and Appreciate him always sending these in every time he gets a chance. And it's always worked out, I think, most of the time that we've had clear enough skies that he's been able to get that full moon. So great shot there, Charles, as always. Almanac today at the Salisbury Airport, 91. And 3 days in a row or more of 90 plus. It's an official heat wave. We'll certainly see that at the Salisbury Airport, but also I think all other reporting stations across the area, like Georgetown up to Dover, we're all going to see temperatures well above 90 for the next several days. You see where our averages are, not too far above average and certainly nowhere close to a record today. Today's highs elsewhere, a lot of places did get to 90 or above, like Georgetown and Easton, 93 in Dover. Cambridge hit 90, and it was awfully warm even to the coast in Wallops at 88, Ocean City 84. And some of our beaches are certainly going to be close to 90 here through this weekend and in early next week. Look at the records for tomorrow in Salisbury. It's 98, Georgetown 97, and 99 in Salisbury on Sunday, at Georgetown at 100. I'm not saying that these won't be tied or broken, but chances are we're going to come up just short. But it just gives you an idea. We're at the upper limit of what we see weather-wise across this area, or at least from a temperature standpoint, for the first couple days of summer. This is the drought situation, kind of a flash drought situation developing here. I talked about this several days ago. Onset drought for most of the mid-Atlantic. Moderate drought for portions of central and southern Delmarva, also back into the mountains of Virginia. This is an expanding issue that likely will take us into next week, even with a few areas of rain that come through. It'll feel like 100 to 105 this weekend with the humidity. Those are afternoon peak feels like temperatures. Take the edge off Monday and Tuesday. Another hot day on Wednesday. See the shower and storm action to our north. That's where it's going to stay here this weekend. It's high pressure stays put, keeps us very sunny and rain-free. But Sunday night, that could change, as I expect a shower or thunderstorm to develop and maybe sneak into the area after sunset. Back to tonight, it's going to be muggy, mostly clear skies. Some of us don't drop below 70. And tomorrow, a sizzler there, 93 to 98. It's going to feel like 98 to 103 on average for several hours in the afternoon. I said this back during the news hour. Remember that the blacktop will reach 130 to 140 degrees of that direct sunlight when it's that hot. So keep that in mind for getting the walk in with the dog tomorrow. Skeeter meter is also going to be through the roof. 7-day forecast, mid to upper 90s this weekend. We'll get a shower and thunderstorm chance Sunday and Monday. It's not widespread. And then Brandon, it looks like we're going to drop temperatures finally with a cool front Thursday, the chance for rain and much less humid by Friday.
All right, thanks, Rich. Can't wait for that cool down. Stay with us. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 6 wrapping up tonight. There will be a Game 7. That's coming up next on Delmarva Sports Insider.
Chase Shepard, Pittsburgh Parkside Rams, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.